As we gather this evening, I have a number of points that we need to cover. And so tonight is probably going to be more like a buffet line in terms of a homily rather than a big dinner. First of all, I want to make sure that we are aware that this weekend begins our Priest Retirement Fund drive, Perpetuate the Gift. And this is a very special collection, annual collection that we make for the priests of the Diocese of Toledo. And if you look at the end of the pews, you can see those familiar envelopes are there for you to take. The Priest Retirement Fund collection helps the priests of the Diocese of Toledo. And 100% of the money stays in the diocese and helps our retired or senior status priests. And it might be surprising to you, we have a number of those who are active priests, of course, and those, I believe, are around 80 or 90 active, and we have as many, 80 or 90, retired or living as senior status. And that's an amazing statistic. It tells us two things. First of all, we're kind of cresting up towards that place where a lot of these bigger classes of priests who were ordained back in the day are ready to move to senior status. The second thing it tells us is that we need vocations yet. And we need young men to say yes to a life of service in the church, to be priests, to carry on the work of the diocese. And I was thinking about just how many of these priests truly benefit from this collection. Now, I have to admit to you that I'm a bit biased because I'm chairman of the Priest Retirement Board. And I know the important work that the board does in order to help raise these funds. What's striking about this particular Priest Retirement Fund is that it began actually by brother priests reaching out to help other brother priests who were truly in need. And the fund, in essence, is based on helping the priests who are at the lowest common denominator. In other words, the guy who really needs the help in terms of living the rest of his life, and maybe a priest who is unable to work because of health issues or whatever. And this fund started in a very modest way and has grown to be an essential part of sustaining our senior status priests. One of the things that I know for sure is that the priests who receive this are truly in need of their retirement benefit. And mostly because you might say, well, what about Social Security? Back in the day, the Social Security rules were as such that clergy could not participate. And so you have quite a group of priests who are at that particular age now who we say we should be able to get Social Security, but because the government prohibited it, they weren't able to contribute. And when the rule was finally relaxed, it was much too late for them to get any good gains in terms of the commitment that they made. Certainly some have personal savings, but again, to have them be able to live life and senior status, they need this particular benefit. And I can assure you that many of the priests, most of them, have heard Pope Francis's call, and even before Pope Francis, to live a life of simplicity. And so these priests are living that simple life of relaxation and prayer, many of them. And many of them are still hard at work helping parishes throughout the diocese. And without our generous retirees, we would not be able to have the masses that we have in the diocese. So we need them in a great way. So this collection is intended to help them in their senior life, living the simplicity of life of prayer and relaxation that they have earned in many ways. After more than 40 years of service in the ministry, generous service in many ways, this is a time that they are able to take and make their own rest of their lives. So I want to say thank you. I know that there are a lot of places that you can contribute to the good of the church. And I invite you to think about making that contribution to the local church through this collection. And again, every dollar spent is given to the priests of the diocese and helps support and sustain them. And not just senior status, by the way. When a priest might come upon serious health problems, this also is a fund that those priests draw on. For example, I believe Father Wigman, who has multiple sclerosis, is a beneficiary of this fund because he's unable to work but still needs to be sustained. So there's multifacets to this fund that help the priests of the diocese. And yes, you will be helping people that you know, people like Father Weibel, Father Ring, the most notable pastors here, and others who were associates and now, hard to believe, but retired themselves. I know that I probably don't want to bring up names of those priests of old, because who knows what kind of ornery priests they were, right? So thank you again for supporting this effort. And the collection is ongoing. You can make a pledge or you can make a gift, and you're welcome to either drop it in the collection basket any weekend going forward. You can mail it directly, put a stamp on it, and mail it directly to the diocese, and make sure, of course, that you indicate that you're here at St. Wendelin Parish. And that'll help us meet our obligation and responsibility as a parish to help make this collection a reality for us. So again, on behalf of the board and those who we serve, the retired priests and those who benefit from the fund, I want to say thank you. The second thing that I wanted to focus on today is the many opportunities that we have to grow in our faith in the days ahead. Between now and roughly November 2nd or 3rd, we have a number of wonderful opportunities ahead to celebrate our faith, to celebrate life as St. Wendelin Parish. The first date that we always have on our calendar is October 22nd, I believe, which is the Feast of St. Wendelin. And we try to use this feast day in order to build up some wonderful faith experiences for us all. So the first thing, building up to the 22nd, is our parish mission, which you've seen advertised in the bulletin, and you see the wonderful banner out in the gathering space. I hope that we all will welcome Robert Rogers to our community on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. Robert Rogers has an amazing story to tell and an amazing life to share with us. He's worthy of coming to hear him speak, and beyond that, to boot, he is a phenomenal musician as well. And some of the music that he plays, I know, will be inspiring for us all. He'll tell his story, which I think the under story that you know already is that he lost his family in a flash flood and had to come to grips with how to live life without losing hope. And Lord knows that many of us probably can be inspired by that message, how to live life without losing hope. And he gives a wonderful presentation. So I hope that you will commit to those evenings. Now, I do know that on Tuesday night, there is a chicken dinner too. The Circle of Mercy chicken dinner, I believe. And that should not keep you away from hearing Robert Rogers, okay? So come a little bit early, then come to stay for Robert Rogers on Tuesday. I think you'll be truly blessed. As we go forward then throughout the week, we'll have an opportunity to celebrate our feast day with 40 hours adoration. And we'll have exposition and adoration during that time. And rather than culminating in our procession that we make throughout our town and the prayers that we make for our city, our state, and our nation during that time, this time we have scheduled Bishop Thomas to come and conclude our 40 hours by blessing our new tabernacle altar. And he will be here on Tuesday the 25th at 7 o'clock. I hope many of us will turn out, many families will turn out to see and celebrate with Bishop Thomas this historic event in our church. Everyone is welcome to attend 40 hours adoration on those days. And as we celebrate that, we're renewed in the Holy Eucharist. We're renewing ourselves in what makes us uniquely Catholic. The fact that we believe that Jesus is with us, body, blood, soul, divinity. And that strengthens us on the way. It's significant that we move Jesus to the center of our worship space, reminding us that he is truly the center of our lives. Now, a quick update on our project. I think that we will see a lot of things happen very quick this week. And so don't blink because you might miss it. But as you might go out in the, not right now, of course, but in the gathering space, and we have one slide on our electronic bulletin boards that show a sneak peek of our tabernacle project. I was out to Shriners yesterday with Matt and Rob, and we were checking the work out with Greg, and they're doing the great work that Shriners always do. And all things being equal, by next weekend this time, hopefully you'll see something of a bit of a change in the sanctuary here. And so we are wait with anticipation again, this historic moment. Now, finally, just a couple of words about the readings that we had. Both the first reading from the book of Kings and the Gospel of Luke are readings that speak about healings of lepers, but more importantly, about a spirit of thanksgiving. And what we see is that Naaman, who was told simply to go plunge himself in the river, is filled with great joy because he did not realize that such a simple thing given to him at the word of the prophet Elisha would change his life so fundamentally. And he comes to the prophet and he says, "Let me give you a gift. Thank you for this." And in the reading, we see Elisha saying, "No. It's not a gift for me. Return to God what God has given you. He has given you health. He is the one who has made you new again." And Naaman hears this. And what's striking is that Naaman says, "Well, if you're not going to take my gift, then give me 2 mule loads full of earth." And I have often scratched my head at that. Why do you want 2 mule loads full of earth? Well, of course, we know that in the pagan tradition, the land on which you sacrifice is the land that's dedicated to the gods. And so Naaman was saying, I no longer want to make sacrifice and holocausts to false gods. Give me the land of Israel, the true God, and there I will put my praise and thanksgiving before God. What a beautiful testament, isn't it? And I often wondered, why do you want 2 mule loads full of dirt? Makes sense, doesn't it? And finally, Jesus has a similar experience of thanksgiving. And as we see, it's the Samaritan who returns. And Jesus wonders aloud, weren't there 10 that were healed? And what's curious about this particular gospel passage is that we should not read Jesus being perturbed about the fact that the other 9 didn't return. Because for Jesus, that act of thanksgiving was just another opportunity for him to give an even greater gift. And the Samaritan came and received the greater gift. When they went to the priest, they were given the gift of their health again, their wellness. But what Jesus offers the Samaritan who comes back in gratitude is nothing less than salvation. Jesus himself says, "Your faith has saved you." And I think Jesus is saddened because that gift of salvation was going to be given to all 10 of them. But because they were only focused on the healing for here and now, they missed the great opportunity to give thanks to God and so be welcomed to the next greatest gift, which was the salvation that he had planned for them. It makes a good thought process for us to think about how it is that we come before our Lord in thanksgiving. How grateful are we, and is our gratitude leading us to see further blessings that come to us? That's what Jesus promises, that as we are grateful, as we are thankful to him, and we come at the Eucharistic table, the table which is literally translated the table of thanksgiving, are we seeing the other abundant blessings which are coming to us? The abundant blessings that ultimately we'll return to the Lord and give thanks for again. That's what's at stake tonight. And so let's think about our gratitude, our thankfulness. Do we turn to the Lord enough in thanksgiving?